Program, B.S. English. Course, 18th Century Novel. Topic, Character of Joseph Andrews. Prepared by, Dr. Shahryar Khan. Question. Write a critical note on the character of Joseph Andrews. Introduction. The narrative of Henry Fielding's Joseph Andrews seems to be more focused on Parson Adams. He is the one whose adventures entertain and amuse the readers. Some critics have highlighted this point, that Fielding has not delineated the character of Joseph with as much skill as that of Adams. Phrases like rather pale, merely a pawn in the game, perfect and therefore not very real are often used by critics to describe his character. Perhaps this impression is formed by his first appearance as a naive young boy who is at a complete loss in his dealing with Lady Booby. This image does improve as the narrative moves forward. Towards the end of the novel, he appears to be a bit mature and worldly wise as compared to the first impression of his. We cannot ignore this fact that the novel is titled Joseph Andrews, and this makes him the most important character in the story. Point 1. In his book Aspects of a Novel, E. M. Forster asserts, people in a novel can be understood completely by the reader, if the novelist wishes. Their inner as well as their outer life can be exposed. The narrative of Joseph Andrews clearly indicates that Fielding does not want us to understand his protagonist completely. In fact, it appears as if he himself is not clear about the path of his character. In the beginning, Joseph is meant to be a tongue-in-cheek satire on Richardson's Pamela. He is the brother of Pamela and he is as chaste and moral as his sister. Here, the purpose seems to be to distinguish between Pamela's chastity and Joseph's chastity. In Fielding's view, Pamela pretends to be chaste so that she can marry Mr. B. Her chastity has a material purpose. On the other hand, Joseph is chaste because of two of his moral principles. Firstly, he is in love with Fanny and does not want to be disloyal to her. Secondly, Lady Booby is the wife of his recently deceased master. To have physical relation with her is socially and morally unacceptable. Joseph is very much aware of the difference in status between him and his mistress. Therefore, he tells her, "Madam, I should think your ladyship condescended a great deal below yourself." As far as a critique of Pamela is concerned, Fielding has already made his point here. After Joseph is dismissed from his job by Lady Booby and he sets on his homeward journey, the purpose of Joseph's character had to be changed. Point 2. Change in Joseph's character occurs when he meets Fanny. That is when he starts to take initiative. Before that, he would just do what was advised by Parson Adams. When Fanny is abducted, he springs to action. He pursued his journey with the utmost hate, and at last saw the house where the lady was, into which he immediately entered, and found Fanny alone, and in the utmost distress. Joseph appears confident and resolute when he defends his marriage with Fanny in the presence of his sister Pamela and Lady Booby. When Pamela asks him whether he is married to Fanny, he replies, "Indeed, I am, my dear sister, and I hope no disgrace to your family by that marriage." This clearly indicates that by Book 4, he is no more a naive, shy boy. He is a confident young man with the ability to take initiative. Point 3. Joseph's journey, up to some extent, can be considered Bildungsroman or coming-of-age story. On his homeward journey, he faces many hardships. He is robbed, beaten, and left naked in a ditch. Because of this physical injury, he comes to know a great deal about the behavior of people of different classes. He comes to know that benevolence is rare in the practical world. Before this, his moral vision was indebted to Parson Adams. Parson Adams' knowledge of the world is very limited, as we come to know later in the narrative. Through the journey, Joseph is exposed to real problems and real people of the world. Andrew Wright has rightly observed, Joseph is the rational pupil to Adams' irrational master. While Adams provides the spiritual philosophy, Joseph often provides the practical sense needed to survive their journey. Fielding wants his readers to know about his practical sense and practical morality through Joseph's character. His point is that Richardson's moral vision is not rooted in practical life. Only experience can teach a person what true moral behavior is. Conclusion. To conclude, we can say that in the first part of the novel, Joseph Andrews is just a gender-reversed parody of Richardson's Pamela. As the narrative progresses, he evolves into a mature and confident young man. He goes through hardships and experiences during his journey homeward. As Martin Batteston has commented, Joseph begins as a joke, a male Pamela, he ends as a man, his own master. The journey from London to Lady Booby's country seat is the history of his discovery of the world and of himself. His evolution occurs on the moral plane as well. In the beginning, when Lady Booby tries to seduce him, he relies on Parson Adams' moral advice to resist her. It appears as if he himself does not have any opinion in this matter. He goes through many adventures on the road, and this helps him develop his own practical moral vision. At the end of the novel, he is no more a student of Parson Adams but a self-actualized hero. As Homer Goldberg has asserted, the road is the great educator in Joseph Andrews. Joseph's education is completed not by books, but by the physical and moral challenges of the highway, which transform his innocence into wisdom.